Hey, what's up, everyone? Shalin Magi here. Welcome to my No Man's Sky video. So, in this video, I am going to be doing a compilation of multi tools or weapons. Okay, a lot of these multi tools are going to be S class. Some of them will not be S class, right? But the majority of them will be. So, right now, I'm going to start since I am in the Euclid Galaxy, and this is probably going to be the easiest spot for anyone to get access to these locations where you can get these multi tools, these S class multi tools. I figured I'll start right here. Um, so, two of the S class multi tools are right in this system, right on this actual planet. Okay, where my base is. This is my silver dioxide radon base. So as long as you get yourself in this system, doesn't matter what planet or even if you end up in the space station, you should be able to see this base. Okay, once you're in the system, you can just go ahead and fly right to the base. You can see silver dioxide radon base. All right. However, I will share the glyph addresses and the coordinates for each base, just in case if you get here for whatever reason and you are not able to see my save beacons. Okay. So we have two, I believe, in this system, we have two staff variants. Okay. Um, we're going to start at the yellow save beacon. So I'll basically meet you there at that location, and I will show you the combination, the staff combination that will make you an S class staff. All right, I'll meet you there. Hey everyone, what's up? So this weapons compilation video or multi-tool compilation video is not just going to include, say, Atlantid multi-tools that you'll find at Corvex monoliths. It's not just going to include multi-tools that you're going to find at your standard space stations, and also uh, weapons that you'll find at like the the Echo camps, when you get an Echo locator from a dissonant resonator and you activate it, and it takes you to like it takes you to a harmonic camp basically. It's also going to include the staffs that you construct with autophage parts. So in other words, like the staff I have right now, you would buy the parts for it and then you would construct it at one of these units, these terminals. So first things first, I want to bring out the staff that you will get at this camp right here. Okay. So the staff that you get is this. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Is this yellow one. Now, I have made a video on this a while back, right? Autophage appearance video. So if you've seen it, you've seen it. But this is going to have something extra to it. So anyway, this staff that you get from this camp basically is this right here. Really beautiful, like chrome green handle and really awesome yellow crystals. Supercharged slot layout's really not that great though, right? You've got one right here. Okay. You've got one up here in the corner. You got one right here. Right? So that's not too bad. One here, and then your other one is right there. Right? Not too bad. However, it would be nice if this one was like, right there, right there. Anyway, though, but you've got one there, and one there. Anywhere where you see my S-class weapons, as well as this A-class. Right? So it's the staff that you get from this location. So yeah, and you can see with my neutron cannon upgrades, One of them is really good, right? This one right here. But these two could stand to be a little bit better. And basically, my damage is 129,000. So, not too bad. And you don't have to upgrade this. So, what you see is what you get. One of the reasons I'm here, though, is not for this, not just to show you this staff, but one of the reasons I'm here is I want to buy a reclaimed head. Okay, and I can get that here at this spot. All right, because there's a spot in this system. Also, I have a base here, so yes, I will give you the coordinates and the glyph address here, but if you end up in the system from taking the glyph address from a portal, then obviously you probably will be able to find my base, silver dioxide radon, and then you just look for the yellow save beacon that I have right here. But I will still give you coordinates. Anyway, I want to see what I get. So at this location, if you use the the radiant parts, right? So the radiant heart, you would have to buy this, the radiant heart. You would have to buy the radiant chamber, and you'd have to buy the radiant bore. And if you buy those three things, when you put them together in this machine, you will get this staff, right? S-class staff, and it's definitely decent looking. But what I want to do here is I want to construct a different style staff. I'm going to use the runic beam, which is like the pole. And as you can see, the color is consistent, right? You got the green handle with like the yellow shiny things. I'm going to use, we could use the radiant battery, but I'd much rather use the radiant chamber, right? And then I'm going to use, let's see what the claw does. So we got the claw, the reclaimed claw. Let's see what that turns into. So if we were to use those parts, it makes a B class. But I like the supercharged slot layout of this. Well, hold on. That's not. So that right there is supercharged. So anyway, yeah, that's what you get with the reclaimed claw at this spot. Right, so you're better off using the radiant heart, which is what you see on my staff. What happens when we use the radiant robot head, reclaimed head? I'm sorry, pretty cool looking, right? So if we assemble this, what do we get? We just get a class C, right? So not that great, even though the color scheme is pretty dope. All right. So anyway, let me see if I've got. So yeah, anyway, at this spot, if you buy the radiant bore, the radiant chamber, and the radiant heart, you will get an S-class staff, this exact staff. Beautiful. All right. Not too bad, even though it's got not the greatest layout. So that's this spot. So let me just jump in my thing here and go into first person real quick for you all. All right. So the glyph address, let's get that against a black background, is right there. This is in the Euclid Galaxy. Okay. I'm going to leave it there for a second if you want to take a screenshot. All right. And I am going to still show the coordinates just to be complete. So we've got plus 41.72. And then we've got minus 117.75. I'll leave it here for a second so you can get a screenshot. All right. However, I would just recommend going to my base, and you're going to see the yellow save beacon more or less. Now you see I've got a save beacon on another planet too, and that gives you a really cool orange orange crystals with a chrome handle. Love it. However, I want to go to this save beacon. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just pass my base here. And we'll go to this save beacon in the same system. All right. You know what? Let me just go ahead and give the address real quick. Or the coordinates. Even though, like I said, just get to my base and you won't have to follow the coordinates. But the coordinates are minus 57.90 plus 85.91. I'll leave it here so you can screenshot it. All right. And even though I just showed the glyph address, I'm just going to put that there again. Right there in the lower left-hand corner, Euclid Galaxy. Take a screenshot if you like. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and go to this terminal right here. Now, let's go ahead and make this staff. So this staff gives you like a chrome handle with like a really dark orange sort of a dark orange sort of crystal or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use this so you can see. Right, so it's like a dark orange, or you could say a red, right? And then let's try the claw and see what we get here. So it's pretty decent looking. When we do that, we get an S class, all right? Now, I'll show you, it doesn't really matter if, I don't know about the pole, but if we take the radiant chamber away, let's put the salvage battery, okay? You can see we still get an S class, which is awesome. As far as the pole, I don't have a... well, you know what? Let me see if I can afford to buy. I just want to be sure about this. Okay, so they don't sell the radiant pole, unfortunately. And I don't have enough to get one anyway. So yeah, anyway, everyone. Don't quote me, but I think really all that matters is the head component. But the pole or the pole component may matter. So at least I do know with this runic beam, right, and either the radiant chamber or the salvage battery, and then definitely the reclaimed claw, you are going to get yourself an S-class staff right here, okay? But what I'm more curious about, and as you can see, the supercharged slot layout on this weapon, not that great, right? We got one here, and one all the way over here. Yes. Right. What I'm curious about is the radiant head, or the reclaimed head. So let me get rid of the claw and put the reclaimed head in here. And that's pretty dope looking. Let's assemble it and see what we get. So with the reclaimed head, you get an A-class. There is one more spot here, and I think while I'm in this system, I might as well go ahead and go to it. It's all in the same system here, Euclid Galaxy. And we're going to fly to... That's not it. It's on a different planet. Hold on. Okay. There it is right there. Let's go ahead to this one. the address, which is right there. Euclid Galaxy. Take a screenshot if you like. All right, and the coordinates to this planet or this spot is 0.19. I'm sorry, minus 0.19 minus 157.89. I'll leave it there for a screenshot. All right. All right, staff assembly. Let's do this. Right, so this is the one that makes a chrome handle with the orange, beautiful orange crystals, as you can see right here. Chrome, white, galvanized, whatever you want to. I think of it as like a galvanized looking metal. Let's see what we get with the head. All right, it's already got a very similar staff to this one. Let's go ahead and. Oh, wow, we get an S-Class. Very nice. I might just have to make that. Supercharge slot, supercharge. It's not too bad. Not the greatest though. And that is that's the S-Class combination you get at this location with the what is it, the Radiant or the reclaimed head, robot head. If you use the Radiant variations of the staff, you get, I believe it is a B class or an A class, something like that. All right, everyone. So that's pretty much that. All right, everyone. We are at the next spot. This is also in the Euclid Galaxy. So let me go ahead, before I even get to the tool, and let me go ahead and give you the port address here. Now, go into first person real quick. So here is the address in the lower left-hand corner. Again, like I said, it's in the Euclid Galaxy. If you want to screenshot that real quick, feel free to do so. All right. Okay. And that will probably take you, I've got a poor, there's another player, I guess he watched a video. I put out a video of this weapon quite a while ago, and I'm guessing another player came and got the weapon who watched the video, and they actually built a base at the actual portal location here, but I also throw a save beacon there too. But anyway, the coordinates here, which you should not have to use because I've got my base right here, you could just come to this actual base. But anyway, the coordinates are plus 60.10 minus 114.82. I'll leave it there for a second so you can screenshot it if you need to. All right, jump out of first person real quick. Okay, so yeah, when you get in the system here, it'll probably put you on this planet at right here, portal outpost. That's another player's, but I went ahead and I put a save beacon down somewhere near that area. I don't see it at the moment, but anyway, if you find this base right here, S-Class Royal Multi-Tool / portal base, it's right here at a Sentinel hive or nest, and you just come to the terminal. This was actually one of the first, this was the first S-Class Multi-Tool I got on my fresh start save. Different character, different save. But as you can see, I am not going to be able to access the multi-tool here because I already got the multi-tool on this guy. But it will be a couple options, right? You'll get a red and gold variation, or usually you'll get a yellow variation. but it's an S-Class multi-tool. I don't have a Royal S-Class variation to show you right now, but it's pretty decent looking, and it is S-Class. Okay, so that is that's the location for that multi-tool. All right, everyone, so now the rest of the multi-tools are going to be in different galaxies, different dimensions, so I'll meet you at the next one. All right, everyone, you know what? I totally forgot, but this one, this location here for this multi-tool, this is also an S-Class multi-tool, and this is also in the Euclid galaxy. I totally forgot about it, but here it is. So this one is at a harmonic camp. All right. Now you're not going to have to worry about getting yourself an echolocator because, as you can see, I've got a base here. Okay. And so yeah, you will just have to get into this system. So I guess while I'm here, let me give you the address. All right. All right, so the portal address, Euclid Galaxy, lower left-hand corner. If you want, go ahead and take a screenshot real quick of that if you need to. Leave it here for a second. All right, and the coordinates, if you need them, are plus 17.16 and minus 22.88. Okay, so plus 17.16 minus 22.88. However, you should not have to rely on the coordinates. You should just be able to come right to this base I made. And if you don't know how these, and also as you can see, I've got a little, like a light purple save beacon. If you don't know how these camps work, as you can see, you got the multi-tool right here. Okay, now for me, this thing is unlocked. If you don't know how to do this, what you will do is come to this harmonic interface, and you're going to want to, so I've already removed the harmonic seal, but when you get here, if you've never done this, you're going to get a thing that says something like input glyphs, right? Well, you're not going to know what glyphs to input. And then you're going to see something underneath. I think it's on the second one down. It's going to say like scan memory or something to do with memory. You're going to want to click that. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring up 3 sets of numbers, right? And it's going to involve subtraction and addition. Right, so it may say something like 9 minus 2, and then the next row down will say 1 plus 7, and then the next row may say 15 minus 5. So you would just do whatever it is, subtraction or addition, and the 3 numbers you come to, you would exit out of the machine, return back to the machine, and click the input glyphs, and then you would just put the whatever the numbers equated to, right? No specific order. You don't have to put them in order, just as long, like say the 3 numbers that your math pretty much comes out to, say it's 5, 10, 7. You can put glyph 7, glyph 10, glyph 5. It doesn't matter the combination. Okay, so that's how that works. Also, you can get yourself a free Sentinel ship if you hit locate dissonance spikes, all right? But that's not what this video is for. This video is for the multi-tool. So once you input the correct glyphs, you will hear a little bit of music, and then you'll run over here, and this thing will be unlocked for you, and you can go ahead and grab yourself a free S-Class rifle, all right? Supercharged slot there, and one there. And so I guess you would have to add some slots, because my guess is the next supercharged slot is probably going to be in one of these potential spots. All right. Now, also with these weapons, you will have to repair them, right? You'll need certain things, right? Atlantium, crystallized hearts, radiant shards. Now, the cool thing with these weapons, as well as we will be getting onto some different weapons later in the video, weapons called Atlantid weapons, which you will get at Alien Monoliths in Corvex systems. Those weapons will have a thing called the runic lens, and what that does is it really jacks up your mining beam's power to like crazy levels. However, these rifle type weapons that you get at these here harmonic camps, okay, these also have a very powerful, I guess equally powerful mining weapon, which is right here, hijack laser, okay. Just like the Atlantid multi-tools with the runic lens, this hijack laser is really nice. And what you would do is you would add your own normal mining beam to this weapon along with this hijack laser, and you will have a crazy powerful mining tool if you want it to be. Right, you could put all your mining technology in these supercharged slots, or you could just add your own mining laser along with this laser and put all your damage technology in these supercharged slots, and you can have a really powerful damage weapon. Whatever the case is, it is what it is. It's totally up to you. But you will need to repair these if you're not aware of that. And the everything that you would need to repair these with are on these planets. So in other words, as you can see these crystals up here, that's not crystals actually. Okay, like right here. This right here is Atlantium. Okay, so you would need some of this. You would need these radiant shards. All right. And crystallized hearts, they come from like they look like sentinel dogs or spiders, and you will find them in camps where pretty much where you find dissonant resonators. But anyway, usually these camps are on dissonant planets, and if you're on a dissonant planet, you will have access to everything you're going to need to pretty much repair this weapon, right? So all these spots, you will free up all these spots, okay? And everything you need is going to be on this planet itself. All right, so there's your S-Class rifle multi-tool with a really badass laser. And if you're into like bolt casters, this is what I would consider sort of the Sentinel version of a bolt caster. I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, you could probably add your own bolt caster to it, right there. And this might be a pretty nasty damage style weapon. So, all right, everyone. That is it for all the multi-tools in the Euclid Galaxy, and I'll meet you in the next one. All right. All right, this is the next location for the next multi-tool. This is in the Hesperius Galaxy, or the Hesperius dimension. So while I'm here, let me go ahead and give you the address really quick. All right, Hesperius dimension, lower left-hand corner if you want to screenshot that. All right, and right here's the coordinates. We've got minus 31.62, minus minus 136.13. All right, minus 31.62, minus 136.13. Leave it there for a second or two. All right. And again, I built the base here. The name of this base when you get here is Shallon Magi's S-Class Atlantid MT multi-tool. All right. Very easy to find. Once you find the base, you just come out here and you can see right there is where we're going to go. We're going to go right to that monolith. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and fly right over there. So I should mention, when it comes to getting these Atlantid multi-tools, there's a couple things you might have to be aware of. So at these monoliths where you get these multi-tools, these are only going to show up in Corvex systems, okay? So anytime you're in a Corvex system and you locate any one of these alien monoliths, you're always going to have this little purple platform that pops up, okay? Now, the prerequisite for this is now I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if you have to actually complete and finish the autophage quest line, which basically at the end of that quest line, you get access to the purple systems. I'm not sure if you have to complete that whole quest chain or if you have to at least get started on it. I'm not sure about it, but if you are on the autophage quest line, try to get it finished, right, so that you can pretty much have access to these multi-tools. So, again, I'm not going to mess around with the coordinates here because obviously this thing is like right next door to my base. You will see it once you get to the base. And here is the multi-tool you'll get. I'm not sure if it's going to show it because I already grabbed this thing. Yeah, it's not going to show it. Well, you know what? I have the multi-tool in my weapons rack, so let me go ahead. I'll meet you at my base and I'll show you what the multi-tool looks like. All right, everyone, I'm back at the base here. And again, I just want to quickly show you, once you get to the base, you pretty much can't miss the monolith, right? Right there, okay? Clearly see it right from the landing pad. And the multi-tool you will get from that base is right here. I didn't have to upgrade it. It is what it is, right? Pretty cool looking, chrome, sort of got the orange lens. The great thing about these Atlantid multi-tools is you're going to get this beam. It's the runic lens. Now, I've got this in a supercharged slot as well as my opti drill, right, to get, extra resources mined. I've also got all my mining technologies, normal mining beam, as well as an S-class mining beam. Basically, all the Atlantid multi-tools, right, be it this current one or even this multi-tool, right? This is an Atlantid multi-tool. Now, you're not going to get this one from this area, right? But as you can see, all of my Atlantid multi-tools, they are optimized only for mining, all right? Now, you don't have to optimize them for mining. These things will do very good damage, right? But to me, it makes more sense to really utilize the mining aspect of these tools, especially when you are mining things like runaway mold, metal fingers, right? With this opti drill in a supercharged slot, right? As opposed to right now, I would get plus 50 resources when you put that thing in a supercharged slot. It takes it up to 88. And also the runic lens, all of this stuff increases the amount you will get. Not too substantially, but it does increase it a little bit. but this thing really jacks it up, the Opti drill, when you throw that in a supercharged slot. So yeah, this is the S-Class Atlantic multi-tool. It's like a rifle style that you will get from this location. All right. Let's move on to the next one. All right, everyone. We are at the next S-Class multi-tool spot, and we're in a different galaxy at the moment. We are now in the Budanger galaxy. All right. Right now I'm at a base, okay, that is at a trade station. And the reason I made a base here at this trade station is not only because I'm interested in the multi-tool that's here, okay, but as you see, this is a wealthy economy, 3-star, opulent, and it's low conflict. It's a GEX system, that don't matter to me. But yeah, so I just pretty much built a base right here at the actual trading post. But let's see if I can just port right to the current space station that's right in this system instead of flying to it. Yeah. So we're just going to go ahead and port right to the space station. It's right in this system, so, you know. Okay. The multi-tool at this system is right here. It's a pretty unique looking one, pretty cool. And as you can see, it is an S-Class. All right. And what we have here is the glyphs right down there in the lower left-hand corner. If you want to take a screenshot of those. Budanger Galaxy. And obviously, you do not need to worry about any glyph. I'm sorry, any coordinates, because obviously we are here at the space station. This monolith gives a pretty decent S-Class Atlantic multi-tool. Right? Definitely decent. So supercharged slot there, and there. So it's not terrible, but it's not that great. It's probably just as good as any of my Atlantic multi-tools. So. All right, so here's the glyphs. Lower left-hand corner, Icjamatu Galaxy. Take a screenshot if you want. All right, and while we're in the spaceship or starship, probably unnecessary, but here is your coordinates. Minus 3.79 plus 44.30. All right, but you should not need those. Just get to a portal, put that address in. If it doesn't bring you right here to the base itself, wherever in the system you are, you will be able to see this thing. Now, so the last Atlantic multi-tool system we were in, where my base was right next to the place, we got this multi-tool from it, right? And like I was talking about in that video, in that part of the video, these Atlantic multi-tools for me are really just for mining, right? So I don't really think that the supercharged slot layouts in these weapons, if you're using them like I use them for, right, just for mining, I don't know how important it is that how close they are together. I don't think it matters, right? Now for damage and stuff, yeah, very important. as well as if you wanted, I don't know, maybe you wanted to make your multi-tool really good for scanning, then having stuff together for the adjacency bonus is going to be a benefit. That may be the case with the mining as well. I don't know. However, also with these Atlantic multi-tools, if you're not familiar, if I was to log off right now and then, I don't know, log back in a couple minutes, it's a good possibility that the color of this could be blue and black, could be red and black, right? So the appearance of this thing can change. However, the class of it will stay the same, and generally the supercharged slots are going to be in the same area. So, all right, yeah, so that is this one. All right, everyone. So up until now, that is all the different S-Class multi-tools that I have come across. Remaining are three more multi-tools, but they are not S-Class. Two of them are just are not S-Class, but I thought that they looked really cool. They had a unique or a pretty cool look to them. And then one of the multi-tools I'm going to share with you is a pretty generic looking multi-tool, but it's got a really nice supercharged slot layout. So I'll catch up with you at those three different locations. Hey, what's up? Shaolin Magi here. So I'm at another space station in the Bedolinger system or galaxy, and I'm doing my normal push towards center of galaxy. So I'm always checking these weapons, especially when they're kind of unique looking like this one. So this is pretty decent. A-class weapon. Obviously, the only supercharged slot showing is this one right here, so I don't know. But even more interesting than that weapon would be this one, which appears to look or be the same, but however, as you can see, we've got an S-class version of that right here. And this is showing me three, right? 1, 2, and 3 supercharged slots. This has the potential of being pretty good, really good layout, or okay, right? Even if the other supercharged slots that is not showing right now, even if it appeared somewhere like down here, really far from these, you do have two of them together, so hard to say. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share the address of the system I'm in right now. And again, as you can see in the lower left-hand corner, we're in the Bedolinger galaxy. And if you want to take a screenshot of that address, I'll leave it here for a second or two. All right. Yeah, and that's that. That's just another one of the multi-tools. So I'll catch up with y'all in a while. Multi-tools, and I came across this one. This is really cool looking. It's kind of unique, right? Kind of has. I've seen these kind of multi-tools, but it has the alien aspect to them with the horns up top, which is definitely cool looking. And it's got a pretty nice supercharged slot layout, right? You got a supercharged slot here, here, and here. And it makes me curious, like if you were to take this thing up to an S-class, I wonder where the other supercharged slot would be. I mean, it could wind up being in a terrible spot, like, like right here, or, it could be anywhere. But man, if it wound up being like right here, or even right here would be really nice. Like if you had a neutron cannon set up in this thing and you got the next supercharged slot right here, you could throw your normal neutron cannon right here, put an S-class, and then and also an S class, and then you could throw your A class one that you get from the anomalies. So you know what? I I actually like this multi-tool. So I'm going to go ahead. How much is this thing? I may actually buy this thing. So it's pretty much 6 million units, close to 6 million. I'm going to buy it. Yeah, but anyway, I want to share the address here with you all. And let me get it against the black background. There we go. In the bottom left-hand corner, we got the Badollinger Galaxy. And I'll leave it there for a few seconds for you to get a screenshot. All right, everyone. So that's all I wanted to share with you all. Maybe. All right, everyone. I'm back. So I went ahead and I did grab that multi-tool. Right. Definitely a really cool looking, unique multi-tool, but I am curious where the supercharge layout is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take this thing up. Oh, what's going on here? See, I'm going to take this thing up to an S class because I am pretty curious where this thing's going to wind up. I'm going to get rid of this personal force field. I don't use them. All right. Get rid of the bolt caster. I'm going to get rid of that blaze javelin. I don't use those really. I have used them in the past. Not bad, but not my thing. All right, so let's hope that the next supercharge slot, I don't know, lands somewhere in this area. I mean, if it landed right there, that would be amazing. Or even right there. So, okay. Oops. Wrong one. I want to take it to an S class first. All right, there we go. Now maybe this supercharged slot opened up already. If not, I've got some expansion kits to throw in here. Okay, so it is going to take an expansion kit. So I mean, it could wind up being right there or somewhere down on this lower row. Well, let's find out. Let's find out real quick. Well, I would put one there anyway, so we'll start there. And there it is. Oh, maybe I didn't catch it. Okay, so yeah, that's the supercharged slot layout, everyone. It's, I'll say it's pretty decent, actually. I mean, I'm going to see what I can get out of this thing damage-wise, and I will catch back up with you. All right, everyone, I'm back. So I decided to throw in some of my best neutron cannon technologies in this new multi-tool right here. Okay. And, like I suspected, get some pretty good numbers out of this thing, right? 124,000 damage. So definitely a decent multi-tool, absolutely. Yes, so that is that. So again, just to be clear, you get these 3 supercharged slots once you get the weapon, and it is an A class. And then when you take it up to an S class, it's going to open up. It's going to open that up right there. Right. Again, not the greatest location, but again, not too bad. All right. So that is that one. Let's move on to the next one. Hey everyone, I just wanted to include this little multi-tool. This would be something that would be very easy to attain. Now, heads up, it's not a Class S or an S class, right? It's just a B class, but it's pretty cool looking. It's pretty unique. Um, it's one of the alien type multi-tools, and I think it looks pretty decent. I figured I'd just throw it in here real quick. That fluorescent green, very cool. And it is, yeah, 1.5 million units. So not too bad, right? If mostly if you're a little bit newer in the game still, this I think this would be a really good thing to pick up. Two supercharged slots. Don't know where the other two would appear when you take it up to A and S class, but just thought it was a pretty decent looking cosmetic type thing there. And the address to this space station, or the system, it's right in the space station, so that makes it incredibly easy, is right here. Lower left-hand corner, Euclid Galaxy, and there is the glyph address or portal address. So, all right, just figured I'd include that real quick thing right there. So, all right, everyone. At the moment, this is the Bedolinger Galaxy. I believe that's how you say it. Right here, Bedolinger. Anyway, it's in a wealthy trade system, or a wealthy system, wealthy economy, low conflict, which is really good. Gex system. And at the space station here, I mean, this, yeah, it's a pretty generic or default looking weapon, but it's a class. And look at the supercharged layout slot, or the whatchamacallit, the layout on this of the supercharged slots. It's actually really nice. Personally, I'm not interested in it, but I think you could get some pretty good numbers from this thing, and I just wanted to include it since I'm showing a bunch of different multi-tools. So this one, not so much focused on the look of it, but actually the pragmatic aspect of it, the layout, which is really nice. I mean, if you were to get this and upgrade it to an S class, who knows where the other supercharged slot would be. I mean, if it showed up like right here, or especially right here, that would be pretty amazing. But yes, I'm just gonna share the address real quick. Someone might find it useful. Right there in the lower left-hand corner, Bedolinger Galaxy. If you want to take a screenshot of that, I'll leave it here for a few seconds. All right, and yeah, as far as coordinates go, well, it's at a space station, so pretty easy to find. And all right, yeah.